Today I'm doing an oil change on my 6th generation Camry. Right here I have all the supplies laid out so you can see what you need to do the oil change. It's a lot cheaper to do it yourself than to pay for it. You also get your own selection of oil, and you know that you did the job right. So do it yourself, save some money, and enjoy your car. The 2GRFE in my Camry takes, I believe, 6.4 quarts of oil, but you know, when you drain out the oil, there's always some residual oil left in there. So I usually fill it up with just 6 quarts here, checking the dipstick, of course. And if I don't make it all the way, I have more Mobil 1 on the shelf. I use Mobil 1 because of the significant gains I see in fuel economy. Also, the cost is not very high, and it's you know, a really good oil. So when you need to remove the oil drain plug is a 14mm socket or a wrench, whatever you want to do. It's pretty easy to get to. It's on the passenger side in the front of the car. You also need a special cartridge type filter wrench like this. And the reason for that is you have an oil filter in there that looks like this guy. And if you don't have this, okay, so this fits on like this. If you don't have this, some people, what they do to remove it is they use a screwdriver and a hammer, and then you end up with something that looks like this, and then you have to go to Toyota and buy the new part, and that's not fun. When you take this out, the other thing that you need to do is replace the O-ring that goes around here and the O-ring that goes in here. Some other items that you need, you don't necessarily need these, but I recommend them because your eyes are very important. Safety glasses. These are good. Keep your eyes working. Also, I use a glove just to keep my hand clean. And then, of course, I have ramps to drive the car on. And I'm doing it on a tilted driveway, so I'm going to put the ramps down the driveway and have the car come out level, so when I drain the oil and fill it up, I get the correct levels. Okay, so there's your cartridge filter. Right behind it is the oil pan, and there's the bolt. You can see it sticking down. It's kind of got a goldish color to it. Okay, right here I'm torquing the oil drain bolt in. I'm torquing the bolt to 30 foot-pounds of torque. So right here I'm using a 3/8 drive just to take the cap off. The cap was a little bit over torqued. This is why you should do your oil change yourself, so you can put the correct torque on everything. After you take it off, a little bit of oil is going to drip out. Your oil filter should come with a plug like this that screws in, and the purpose of this plug is to allow the excess oil to drain out of the filter before you remove the entire filter housing. As you'll see here, I'm going to screw it in, and the oil is going to start to drip out. That's the new Fram oil filter. You'll see the old style one that they had before when it comes out.
So there's the old filter sitting there with the new Fram filter in place. Right now I'm taking off the old O-ring, and I'm going to replace it with the new O-ring, which is supplied in the oil filter kit. It's pretty easy to get off. You can just do it with your fingers. There's also an O-ring on the bottom that seals the oil filter cap. And then on both of these O-rings, I like to put a little bit of oil to help seal it better. Before I put the oil filter into the car, I usually fill it up with a little bit of oil. I'm going to show you this right now. Basically, you just fill up the center till it hits the top. You just do this once so that you don't leak any oil anywhere, and that amount of oil is really perfect to it almost saturates the filter with oil. And the purpose of this, of course, is to limit the time that your engine won't see any oil pressure. So, it's much better to have the filter with oil already on it than a dry filter in there. Right there, I'm putting oil onto the O-rings for a better seal. And now I'm going to go and install the oil filter. When I install the filter, I always screw it in and then I pull it back out to double check that I put the new filter in place and also the new O-ring. Just a little peace of mind when you're down there. And then I hand thread it in, and I get the torque wrench out with the adapter thing on it, and I set the torque wrench to 20 foot-pounds. Now that that's torqued, I'm putting in the O-ring on the bottom, and I'm also going to put in the oil filter cap. The cap takes a lot less torque than the housing itself. It takes 10 foot-pounds. I set my torque wrench to 11 foot-pounds because that's within the allowable range. But an easy way to remember the 3 torque settings is 30, 20, 10. And that's in the order that you do it. It's 30 for the drain pan bolt, 20 for the filter housing, and 10 for the cap. Now that everything's tightened up, we're going to go ahead and add the oil into the car. That big Mobil 1 container you see there is $24 from Walmart, so it's a pretty good deal. You can, it's cheaper than the 6-pack at Costco or anywhere else, really. I think it's the least expensive way to get Mobil 1. But if you know a better way, then feel free to post it in the comment section. Right now I'm putting the last cord in. Checking the oil level after it's had a chance to settle down in there. After I do that, I'm going to go ahead and start the car and look under it for leaks. And since there were no leaks, after I started the car, if there's no leaks in your car, then you should go ahead and turn off the maintenance required light. So what you do for this is you turn the key to the on position, and then you turn your odometer to the odometer trip button. You press it until you get to A, trip A. Right there, I set it. And then you turn the key to the off position. Then you turn it on to the accessory position. And then you hold down the trip odometer button. And while you're holding that down, you switch the key back to the on position. That's what I'm doing right here. You'll see the dashes going across the odometer there, and then it flashes, and then your trip is set to 0, and your maintenance required light is now off. And that's it. You're done with the oil change now. You can drive your car around for 5,000 miles, and then after that you do it again. Thanks for watching.